Tonight with Sean Micallef. Special guests Anthony LaPaglia, comedian Dave Hughes, Birtles, Shorrock, Goble, and the musical starlings of the Channel 9. And now here's the presenter of the show, Mr. Bert Newton. Sorry, my mistake. It's Sean Micallef.
Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you very much indeed. Now, no, don't give it away. Thank you very much. Now, hey, I'm putting on a big, brave smile here, but, I'm a bit depressed. Are you as angry as I am about this whole FIFA World Cup soccer thing?
Yes! How angry are you?
Well, pretty. I mean, it's outrageous, isn't it? I mean, if our soccer players are going to have to rely entirely on their ability to play soccer, we haven't got a chance in hell of getting in, have we? Boo! Frank Farina's in the audience tonight. Hey, before we start, I should apologise for swearing in last week's show. It was in context, but it did offend some people, and they've got a point. TV's bad enough these days with drinking and smoking and nudity and violence without bad language as well. Am I right, Francis?
Couldn't agree more, Sean.
Still, there's plenty of other things to be appalled at in the weekend papers, I think you'll agree. I must say I was disturbed by a headline in last Friday's paper that read, Solomon's, it said, Solomon's, Australia to spend $2 billion. Now, I'm all for creature comforts, but that is a lot of carpet. Save there. There's been a slump in tourists visiting Australia, probably the result of bad posture. The Senate looks like rejecting the federal government's new media ownership legislation, which means that Kerry Packer won't be able to own Channel 9 and buy the Sydney Morning Herald. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And how would they police that? Follow him round to news agencies or something? By the time he gets $1.60 out? Perhaps he could get it delivered. Oh, there you go. There you go, Kerry. Packer, Mr. Packer. Baz Luhrmann says he might shoot his next film, Alexander the Great, in the outback. He says it's perfect because in 320 BC, they didn't have any functioning mobile phone or internet either. Rolf Harris will perform a Golden Jubilee prom at the Royal Albert Hall to celebrate 50 years in the entertainment industry. That's incredible. That, of course, means he's been entertaining audiences for a total of about an hour and a half now. Sadly, he's not here tonight. And Dennis Thatcher, dead at 88. No joke there, just trying out a new bingo call. We have a superb show lined up for you tonight. Anthony LaPaglia is here. Not now, of course. He's coming out a bit later on, I trust him. You can talk to me over there. Dave Hughes as well. He'll be telling us what he's been getting. Also on stage behind me, Birtles, Shorrock, Goble. No, I'm not speaking in tongues. I'm referring to the most of the former pre-John Farnham Little River Band. And, of course, the semi-regular Lavinia Nixon will be here, and the always regular Francis Greenslade in the Channel 9. Francis? Any change in the lineup tonight?
Sadly, yes, Sean. Mozart and Ray Conniff are out with Parvo tonight, and in their place, on Triangle, Marine Boy and original LRB performer and owner of LRB name, Stephen Housden.
Excellent. Nice to have you both here. Well, if variety is the spice of life, then our opening act tonight is the turmeric. The art of ventriloquism is fast becoming a lost one, but let's rediscover it tonight. Sonia Wickery and Little Sonia with the theme from The Love Boat.
Exciting and new, kind of gold, where it's getting you Cedar's reward. Let it load.
Float.
It loads back to you.
Floats.
The love goat.
Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run.
Do it properly.
The love goat promises something for everyone.
No.
It's love. It's love. It's love. Good.
Thank you very much. And if you like, you can catch Sonia Wickery. And if you do, make sure you pin her to the ground until the police arrive. Right, now, The Incredible Hulk premiered last week. Well, it's just Hulk, isn't it? But I call it The Incredible Hulk because I remember the TV series. They dumbed it down, I think, just calling it Hulk. Anyway, I'm sure it'll do well, and it's a fine film and all that, but I have two problems with it. First of all, The Incredible Hulk himself is not believable. His very incredibility being the problem there, I think. Second, the message it sends out to the kids is not a good one, you know, because the premise of the Hulk is that rage builds and he deals with it by throwing tanks around and jumping kilometres into the air, and kids are impressionable and they'll see that film and they'll think that's the way to deal with their tension. Anyway, so what we've done here on Micallef tonight as a sort of community service is make an alternate version of The Incredible Hulk for the kids that's more believable and with a more positive message about how to deal with their tension. See what you think.
You mean 9 o'clock?
Yeah, I threw my shoulder out playing squash.
Oh, OK, we'll hop up on the bench there, see what we can do. Wow, you are tense. How's that?
Great. It's very relaxing.
There you go. Thank you. It's certainly shorter. Well, look, after the show tonight, just a reminder, at Wimbledon, Mark Philippus is playing Andre Agassi for a spot in the quarterfinals. I think that's about the tennis. But I've actually been watching the women's tennis? Everybody, OK, that's great. You know what I'm talking about here? I'm just referring to the grunting during the games in the women's tennis. It is getting out of hand, don't you think? There's been some comment about it in the media, and we here on Micallef don't feel we're part of the media, so I'm commenting on it now. It's just getting rather distracting. Here's some footage I stumbled across last week. Have a look at this. That's real. That's real. We didn't cob that up. In fact, I don't think it's just the players either. Roll Exhibit B, Chester.
5-2.
It's not even just the people on the court. Have a look at this. These people are animals, all right. Don't understand sports. Speaking of which, someone bought one of Donald Bradman's hats for $425,000. Now, yeah, there it is there. $425,000. Now, that's a lot of money to some people. Anyway, I was thinking, Nine's Wide World of Sport often offers limited editions of cricket stuff and makes a bit of money out of it. So why not here on Micallef tonight? This is as historically significant as the Bradman item, though it's far more recent and not from Bradman. It is this superb, beautifully framed, limited edition piece entitled The A Sample, featuring a magnificent photograph of Shane Warne, together with a cork sample of his urine, as authenticated by the Asda pathologist. It's what started it off, really. It's a one-off, except for the B sample, which a collector from India already has, and great value at $750. Warnie's urine. It'd look great on any wall in your house, I'm sure. Anyway, we'll be back right after this.
The love goat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love goat promises something for everyone.
Hello. Hello, welcome back. Did you hear they're renaming Subiaco Oval Crazy John Stadium? No, that's true. It's only a matter of time, isn't it, before we'll see something like this. You know, Micallef tonight will be ever vigilant and we'll be keeping an eye on that, yes. All right, now, the Commonwealth Games clocks were unveiled all over Australia last week and it received a lot of news coverage. 1,000 days until the big event, everyone applauded, but then nothing. I haven't heard a word about the clocks since. It's like they never existed. Why the media blackout? What's the government trying to hide? We sent our own Lavinia Nixon, and I have a receipt, so I can prove it, down the corridor to Channel 9's own Commonwealth Games clock in the reception area. Lavinia, hello.
Hello, Sean.
Lavinia, what can you tell us about this whole clock scandal?
Well, Sean, as you can see, it's still here and operating, keeping our switchboard girls up to the minute with exactly how many days to go before the big event.
Yes, if I can just interrupt you there, Lavinia. Thanks. Please go on.
Which, as you can see, there are 989 days to go.
Lavinia, why a clock? Wouldn't a calendar have been just as effective?
Exactly, Sean. I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning waiting and nothing has happened.
It's scurrilous. Absolutely scurrilous.
Plus, the clock was designed initially with 4 digits in mind and after only 1 day, they decided they only needed 3 digits. People should be outraged at this waste. This reporter certainly is.
So why aren't we hearing more about this so-called clock on news and current affairs programs?
It's dull.
Lavinia, many thanks, and we'll have more of Lavinia Nixon if she puts on some weight. All right. Well, he may have been sent to Iraq as Australia's official war artist and won the Archibald Prize for portraiture, but until we're sure, he's not coming on the show. Until then, here's comedian Dave Hughes. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, mate.
That's all right. Look,
Appreciate being here.
You're a busy man. I know you're on
I'm a busy man.
The ABC show, The Glass House.
Absolutely.
On
Before all of that,
and
mate, I appreciate being here.
Yeah.
There's one thing I'm not happy about.
Well, I'm appalled that you're not happy about something.
The station promos you did with what you used for my promo on your ads.
Yes.
It was from about 8 years ago.
Right.
I was an unattractive man then. I've moved on.
I dispute that.
Is it there? Could you have a look at it?
Let's have a look at the, if we can, the promo.
Join Aussie star Anthony LaPaglia. He's conquered Hollywood, but is he ready for this?
Only time will tell.
Plus, Dave Hughes
Have a look
and
at that.
Birtles, Shorrock, Goble performing Help Is On Its Way.
I looked like I was wearing a wig.
It's lights,
I
camera,
looked like I had a
action.
red caftan on.
Can we just...
Disgrace.
It was so fleeting, Dave. Can we just have a squiz at... Do we have a... There we go.
Have a look at my hair.
How long ago was that?
Hey, the middle part went out in about 1985. And look at I've lost weight since then.
Well,
I'm a much better looking man than that.
Well, all right, let's
Appreciate that.
Why don't we get a full shot of you now, just in case you come back on the show, which is probably reasonably unlikely. Just stand up here and we'll just use this shot of you. Okay, sit down. That'd be great. We'll use that one in the next promo. You reckon you look a bit better now?
I do. I've been going to the gym. You've noticed, haven't you?
Well, there is a palpable difference, I think. There. What do you do?
Not many people are noticing. I do some weights with a personal trainer who lifts the weights for me, basically. Seriously, I got no. It was the only person who noticed the other day I was getting makeup done, and the makeup artist said, "Oh, have you been going to the gym?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Have you noticed?" He said, "Yeah, your neck's thicker." So I'm not happy about, mate.
Well, what do you... How are you getting... is the neck an important thing to get thicker?
Well, I don't want my neck thicker. I want my sort of pecs to be firm and strong.
Right. It's more than exercise, though, because it's food. You've got to eat the right foods.
Well, you do have to eat the right foods, and I like to eat chips.
And does this help?
Doesn't help. But I think I'll go back to McDonald's now, because I was worried about them before, because I didn't realise in their apple pies they actually had apples. And the bacon egg McMuffins are made with real eggs. They're a great company. They
are. They do make a quality product.
They are, mate. They make a great product.
Well, you know, television is very fattening too. It adds pounds on you.
Absolutely. I don't worry about my weight too much, but my girlfriend, she worries about her weight. She said, I swear to God, she said, "Well, if I put on weight, will you love me?" I said, "Yeah, I'll love you just as much if you put on weight. But the thing is, you'll be bigger, so my love will be diluted."
Very sound, very sound. And you know, I know you're in a relationship with them.
I am, yes.
Does the newfound popularity, the media? I mean, you're on television, as we were saying. You're on radio. Do you catch the eyes of the ladies?
I do, because when I was younger, I got no romance at all. I got none at school whatsoever.
Did you look very much like you did there? Was your hair parted down the middle?
Yeah, it was. But the fact I got no romance at school was all right, because I went to an all-boys school, but still. It would have been nice to have been asked. I'm sure they're regretting it now, seeing me on TV tonight thinking, you know, I could have had him. But now I do catch the eye of the ladies, man. It's weird, because I'll be walking down the street and a pretty girl will smile at me. And it'll freak me out. I just think, maybe I could shag her.
The sensitive approach.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't happen, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I mean, your ascendancy to the top of the pile of comedians has been a rapid one. Do you find life easier for you now? Is it? I'm assuming your life. I mean, I guess when you were many years ago, when you were a younger man,
yes, I was on the dole for quite a while.
You probably spent much of your time as a child.
But as soon as I grew up, I went on the dole as soon as I could.
Yes.
That wasn't easy, though. Being on the dole's not easy. Have you ever been on the dole yourself, Sean?
No, I haven't had the pleasure of being on the dole. No.
Because you're a wanker.
Right.
That's a joke.
Very uncalled for.
That was uncalled for.
Well, it's all right. I accept that.
Thank you. Yeah, but being on the dole's not easy. At one point, I had to put 6 jobs on the one form. I was flat out. I seriously thought I'm going to have to put someone on. But now, yes, it's easier now. I bought a flat recently, mate, about 6 months ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I waited till the market peaked and I got in.
It's a very, very sound notion.
I actually went with a couple of guys who are real estate experts, friends of mine, and they said, look, we'll all bid. The 3 of us were bidding on my behalf with me. It was very smart. Problem was, we were the only ones bidding. So we certainly got the flat.
All right, well done. Well done. Where is it? Are you allowed to say where it is?
It's in St Kilda in Melbourne. Yeah, it's very...
very Secret Life.
It's excellent, mate.
In fact, you've been in Secret Life, haven't you?
I have been in Secret Life, yes.
You played yourself.
I played myself in that, and I think I nailed the part.
Yes.
It's
a breakout role for you, because people will want you now in their films.
It's a lot of pressure on, though, acting. A lot of pressure. I had one scene, and Samuel Johnson from that show, he'd come up to me, and he'd say, how you going? And I'd say, good. And that was the scene.
Right.
But we had to do it over, and he did it again, and he came up to me and said, hi. And I still said, good. But they went off at me.
The films are opening up for you, because there have been 2 films where the roles have been specifically written for you, Dave.
They have, absolutely, and I haven't got either part.
Right.
So it's not easy when you can't play yourself.
No.
I think my acting range is pretty limited.
Right. Well,
if I can't play myself.
I wish you the very, very best of luck in your continued...
Thanks, mate.
Wait a minute.
What?
Well, in my research, because I did a bit of research about you, and I know you do the Glass House and the other shows and the radio in Melbourne. But you have been on another 9 show, haven't you? You've been on Burke's Backyard.
I was on Burke's Backyard, yes, which is weird though, because see,
I've never been on Burke's Backyard.
Haven't you? No, I didn't think I would be too, because I live in a flat and really don't have a garden.
Well, you got a window box.
I got a window box, and I didn't have any plants at all. But you can't. Berkey, you can't knock him back. So I went and bought some plants, and then he turned up with his crew, and I said, you want to look at my plants? He said, no, just tell some jokes, mate. And so he didn't show my plants. But the weird is, there was 2 drag queens who lived downstairs, and they were doing a barbecue at the time, which is cool. But one of Berkey's producers got one of them to feed the other one sausages. They were very interesting. I thought,
what's happened to Burke's Backyard?
What time slot's this on, Berkey? This is not right. But he sent me a nice... But good on, Berkey.
It's a strange and very shallow man, isn't he?
No, I think he's nice. And he's got a beard, and people with beards are good, mate, because, you know, that means they've got hair on their faces.
David, it's been an absolute delight having a chat to you.
I appreciate that, Sean. Thanks for having me on.
That's all right. A pleasure. And will you please thank Dave Hughes? We'll be back in a moment with Anthony LaPaglia. Welcome back. Dave, thank you for remaining.
Thanks for letting me remain.
That's all right. And we've got a new segment we're trying out. I wonder if you want to help us.
It'd be a pleasure.
Okay. Cue, jingle and caption.
Do the breakfast corner that.
Excellent. Feeble, really. All right, now here's... look, Dave, you drink coffee?
Yeah, all the time. I love a latte.
You love a latte?
Yes.
Well, look, here's something that might interest you. This is coffee made from the waste product of vermin. All right? This is true. This is an actual product. The animal featured on the label here, as you can see, is a sort of cat known as the luwak. Comes from Sumatra. Dave, you've been to Sumatra?
No, but I've certainly heard about it.
Yeah. You liar. He or she eats the coffee cherries off the bushes, which grow wild in the jungle there in Sumatra, and then the beans pass through the animal, are passed by the animal.
Yeah.
They're presumably cleaned, roasted, and put into a bag at $300 a bag. I'm not making this up, Dave. We make stuff up on the show all the time. That is actually true.
That sounds ridiculous.
No, it's actually true. It's actually true. What I want to know is, I mean, if I was walking along in the Sumatran jungle, I'm sure there'd be the same for you,
yeah.
and I saw some cat excrement, the last thing that would pop into my head would be, yes, milk and one. So what I'm wondering, Dave...
What are you wondering, Sean?
I'm wondering, we'll look down the barrel here, who the freak first thought of that?
It was me!
Just cross that off. We won't be doing... I blame you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to take full responsibility for that.
Right, now, a show like this, Dave, as you'd appreciate, is only as good as its research.
Definitely.
So it's a great pleasure to introduce my next guest. My next guest is an Emmy and Tony Award-winning and AFI-winning actor. He's appeared in over 20 films, including Betsy's Wedding, Woody Allen's Sweet and Lowdown, Brilliant Lies, Looking for Alibrandi, The Bank and Lantana, and his television credits include Murder One and Frasier. And it sort of cuts off at the end there. But I can do the last bit of Dorothy Lamore's, which is at the top, but I hardly think that's appropriate for a star of this magnitude. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Anthony LaPaglia. Anthony, thank you very much.
Am I really on a fantail? Or did you just make that up?
I lied, actually. I lied.
I got really excited for a second.
This was... I was pretending to read you, but it was actually Prince's entry. And he doesn't even exist anymore, Prince.
Formerly known as.
Formerly known as, that's right. So
Right.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you'd be on a fantail.
I don't
Have your agent looking
I will. I'll get him onto it right away.
Now, I noticed you're limping in.
Yeah, thank you.
You've injured yourself playing soccer.
I injure myself every week playing soccer.
And
I play a lot of old guy soccer.
But I wouldn't have thought there would be huge sort of opportunity to do that in the United States.
It's actually I live in California now because the show that I'm doing shoots at Warner Brothers, and I've hooked up with this a bunch of disreputable English guys who drink and play soccer in that order.
Oh, I see.
And
so it's a friendly game.
No, it's a violent competitive league. Yes. In fact, we were in we made the finals of our league, of the league that we play in last year, and it ended with the police coming and separating people and arresting 3 players and calling off the game, and 4 players were banned for a year.
Oh, I see.
So it's fun.
And mainly English people playing by the sound of it.
Yeah, we actually have some pretty. We have Vinnie Jones, who used to play in the English Premier League, and
yes.
Did he punch on?
No, Vinnie actually had the distinction of he got red carded after 7 seconds. he came on, hacked somebody, and they gave him the red card, and he went off. So in 7 seconds, he was off.
And he's on your team.
He's on my team.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good to hear.
So he was of no help whatsoever.
Well, are you as outraged as I was pretending to be about the FIFA decision, or don't you care? Don't you care?
I do care, actually. I'm a huge supporter of Australian soccer. I used to play here when I was young.
You used to play in Adelaide.
I did. In fact, I played the first year of the National League, which was in year 77 or 78. And I was really young. And
do soccer players make good actors? Because I reckon they would.
They do. Have you ever watched South American soccer?
Not really.
Yeah, because they dive and they fall over, and if you just touch them, they grab their head. They're great actors.
Occasionally they get shot, don't they?
Pele was very
You're
good.
the Colombian guy who got shot for missing the penalty. There's a price to pay for being a soccer player.
Well, you don't want to play that seriously, do you?
Yeah,
you
do.
You do.
You do.
You don't mind that.
Take it seriously. But I think the decision by FIFA is pretty low, and I understand why people are upset. But I think that there are greater problems. Over the years, I've always found it really strange that one decade we have to play against Middle Eastern countries like Iraq and Iran in order to qualify for the World Cup, and then in the next decade we have to play against South American countries to get into the World Cup, and then like who do we have to play next? And then we have to play like 15 games to qualify and all that stuff. So I find we should be playing in the Asian competition. Because we're part of Asia, so we should be playing against like Thailand and teams we could beat. But I think the biggest problem is that our best players all play in Europe now.
Yes.
So bringing them to Australia a few weeks before a World Cup campaign to get them as a cohesive force, as a team, to qualify. It's too hard. The travel is too long.
That'd be like bringing you back to be on Neighbours for a week.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But not nearly as exciting. So I think that the.
You'd love to be on Neighbours, though, wouldn't you, Anthony?
I tried. I auditioned. They wouldn't take me. Oh, really? So I think that the Australian Soccer Federation has to relook at their position, and I think that they should have a branch office in Europe. So they should set up like the Australian Soccer Federation camp in Europe so that the players, our best players that play in the English Premier League or that play in Belgium and Holland, and we have great players playing all over the world. It would be easy for them to go to those training camps. They're an hour away at any time. And over time, you could really build a strong team. But the base of it should be in Europe and not in Australia per se, and in terms of training and getting a team together over the 4 years it takes to prepare a World Cup team.
Well, these are good suggestions. The administration, how long are you here in Australia? Maybe you
a couple of days.
A couple of days, all right.
Yeah, I'm sure they haven't thought of that stuff.
We'll send them a tape of those observations. But we should talk about, I suppose, your most recent television venture, which is Without a Trace, which has got nothing to do with soccer.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I've been trying to get them to write a couple of episodes.
Well, you've made it very well, if I may say. You've been very, very canny with this one because you play a character who, I mean, the episodes are, it's about an FBI missing persons unit.
Right.
And you appear not in the, I mean, half the episode is flashbacks in which you don't appear.
It's perfect.
So you work half as much as real actors.
That's why I picked the show.
That's very, 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 very canny.
When I read the script, I went, this is fantastic. Half the show is about somebody else. So that means I can get paid the same and be home.
And off play soccer.
And off play soccer.
Excellent. That's very, very good.
It was a major decision in taking the show.
It's doing quite nicely. It's up against ER in the United States.
Yes.
But when it premieres here in Australia, Dave, this is very, very canny by Channel 9.
Absolutely.
Neighbours? Is it up against Neighbours?
Well, they bought ER. See, 9 have ER, so there's no way you're actually up against ER. A very limited chance of you actually being up against ER here in Australia. So I think it'll do very, very nicely.
I think that would possibly could be a hit then.
Yeah. So you're back. You said you're only here for a limited time. Is it? Do you find yourself getting offered a whole bunch of film roles now that you're back here in Australia?
Yeah, I get offered a few things here and there. I love to come back and work here. It's.
Well, I think, and certainly the last couple of films, certainly that you've been involved in, you've garnered yourself an AFI for Best Actor in Lantana. And
that was excellent, Lantana. You were very good in that.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your performance.
Dave wants a film career, Anthony. Dave wants a film career. So
Dave, come to LA. We'll get you shot on the show.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
As the missing person, Dave. As the missing person.
Right. You're the missing person.
All right, I can play a dead person good.
Yeah.
Now, the series reflects. Does it reflect reality? Because a lot of missing people, just remain missing, don't they?
It actually is pretty true to form, and the most amazing thing that you find out is that a lot of people go missing because they want to. Wives that get battered and all that kind of stuff, they change their lives by disappearing. And, I think the most astounding fact that I came across was one of the FBI consultants said to me, how many children do you think are kidnapped by absolute strangers in a year in the United States? And I said, you know, I don't know, 200 or... And he said, 6.
Wow.
It's 6. He said, every other person is kidnapped by a family member, somebody that knows them, somebody that worked as a tradesman at the house, or there's some connection. But a random kidnapping of your child is very, very rare.
Could you do an episode where someone hides in a cupboard for 5 years?
Yes. We have that episode. It's me. I hide the cupboard. It's called Coming Out.
A scoop. A scoop.
On national television, right.
Anthony, thank you very much for coming in. And the show, are you going back to the United States shortly to work again, or are you taking it easy?
No. I start back at work on the 14th. My wife and I were just... Actually, I have to say hello to Gia and the 35 girls that I think are in...
Here you go, this one there with a light on. You've forgotten so quickly.
Television, who knows? And the 35 girls who are at the house watching right now. It's Estrogen Central. Hi.
All right, well, I hope you'll get back there pretty soon. But Anthony LaPaglia, thank you very much for coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Please thank Anthony LaPaglia and Dave Hughes. And thank you very much. It was lovely meeting you. And without a trace, premieres, on 9. Yeah, I know, it's on 9. But it'll be in July sometime. We're remaining a little bit mysterious. We don't know the date yet. But that'll be very nice. Look, I do have to... Right now, I'm afraid I must cross to Francis Greenslade as we ponder that eternal question, what if Francis's knee was Polish?
Jak się dobry, kto się dobry, sweet Georgie Brown. On ja skazam pana baciam, sweet Georgie Brown. Będzie biła serce moja, będzie praca na zdrowie. Georgie B and Georgie B. Krasny Georgie Brown, yeah!
Yeah, something they're thinking about, really. We'll be back right after this. Hello, welcome back. I'm chatting to Glenn, B, and Graham. Now, I'm sorry, it's such a difficult name to get your mouth around. It's going to take a little while, isn't it? For
Sherbet?
The name of the group. Well, I'm Sherbet would be easy, but it's Birtles, Shorrock, Goble, and there's no and in it.
No and.
Birtles, Shorrock, Goble. It's just going to take a while. We're so used to the other name. Can we say the other name at least, or do we get sued by you know who? Stephen. Yeah, I mean, is he? What's he doing with the name? He has the legal rights to the name. This other chap from the band. Is he just sort of sitting at home with it?
No, he tours America with it, with a lot of friends and some good musicians, and they tour as Little River Band.
Right, and they're performing your songs, aren't they? I mean,
Little River Band songs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are songs.
We want to stay legal here, okay?
Sure, they're Little River Band songs, but you guys get, presumably, some of the royalties when they perform.
Nothing.
No.
So where does it go?
Well...
sorry, I shouldn't be. It's such a personal question asking where the money goes, isn't it? How terrible it is. But where does it go?
We don't get anything?
You don't get anything at all?
We don't get anything, no.
Oh, Glenn doesn't know. We haven't told Glenn yet.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry to break this to you. Glenn, you'll be in pauper's prison very, very shortly. It's a bit unpleasant, isn't it?
Really, the secret is we were never in Little River Band. We were just heavily influenced by them.
I see.
And we learned all their songs.
Right. So really, this is a tribute band?
Yeah.
It's an LRB tribute band. All right. Well, you don't sound like you're the only one. It sounds like that. Well, I don't know. Dave's probably got 3 or 4 versions of the Little River Band touring around the United States. Because it had quite a few members, didn't it? There was about 20 or 30 members in its lifetime.
I added it up last night, actually, when I knew I was coming on the show. And
you twice?
Me 3 times.
3 times.
This is my 3rd time. Yeah. I should get a watch. Or something.
Yes, indeed.
But I think it's about 41 members been through the name of Little River Band.
Right.
But we are Birtles. What's your name?
Beatles.
It'll be Birtles, not Beatles.
Well, you can't expect me to get it right if you can't even get it
right. Indeed. Goble, Birtles, and Shorrock. Yeah,
all right, in that order. That's nice to hear. Now, look, you're going to perform for us in a minute. Help us on its way.
Yes.
And I wondered if you could do me a favour because if I might be so presumptuous as to just sing a moment that I love of the song, which is, sorry, I can't. Hang on, help is on its way. It's that pause. I love that pause. I mean, who wrote that pause?
I spent about 4 days on that.
Right, that's very good. Influenced by Pinter. Very picturesque. All right, now, but I wonder whether, how long, I mean, obviously when you perform live, that pause, you know...
It's all in time, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, how many, could you put 2 pauses in there?
Well, 3, 4, 3.
I just wonder whether you could perhaps pad that out to 10 seconds for us tonight.
We could pause better than any other band in the world, I think.
Right, all right. It's been a few years, but tonight we're just asking for a pause of 10 seconds.
10?
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Could you time that for us,
Well, there'll be a
please?
clock in the bottom of the screen for you.
Will there?
Yeah,
Oh,
and it'll be
that'll
interesting theatre.
We'll have a monitor to show us.
Could you get? Yeah, you have a monitor.
Oh, we'll try that.
You go and practice, go and rehearse the pause
Okay.
and set up, and I'll fill.
Good.
And I'll fill. All right, thank you. Please thank Birtles, Shorrock, Goble. They're going to be performing for us in a minute. And yeah, you over now. And here are their dates, by the way. They're up on the screen now. We've got some dates here. There they are. And they are for this year. It's not telling you that there. But incidentally, okay, that's enough of that. Enough of that commercialism. Because right now it's time to play Fast Money. Hello, and tonight, Francis, you're playing for Mrs. Enid O'Loughlin of Wollongong. Certainly a woman worth winning. All right, now you've got 60 seconds to answer a series of questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Red Rooster, Sean.
Right, okay. Now, your time starts now. Jim Carrey's new film is called Bruce...
Yeah, so?
No, it's called Bruce something.
McAvaney.
The TV show Dr. Phil is hosted by which doctor?
Which doctor?
45 seconds, Francis.
Dr. Philip Nitschke.
On June 21st, Prince William turned what?
Left. Blue. Gay. Inside Out.
Blue. 21. Eric Banner plays a...
I know this one.
Eric Banner plays a scientist who turns into which hulking, gigantic green cartoon character?
Minnie Mouse.
Who is Gretel Colleen?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Fair enough. Jay Jagger is the daughter of which famous rock and roller?
Village People.
All right, and at the end of your round, you have 1 point.
Is that good?
No, not particularly. So no aged pensioner for you tonight, but you do go home with this.
A limp.
Right, but thank you for killing time with me tonight on Fast Money. Excellent. But right now, it's my pleasure and difficulty to announce Birtles, Shorrock, Goble with Help Is On Its Way. Audience participation, we thought we'd conduct a bit of an experiment, all right? Thank you very much, Jason.
Not a problem,
All right,
Sean.
now, Francis and I are going to do a blind test on Kopi Luwak to see whether we can tell whether it actually tastes any different, all right? So one of these mugs contains Kopi Luwak in it and the other one hasn't, all right? All right, doesn't, in fact, okay?
Can't tell.
No.
Now, sample A is the one with the cat excrement, Sean.
All right, excellent.
Whereas sample B was made from my own.
Hose out the geese enclosures, Zebedee, and repaint that barber's pole magenta, because it's the moment you've all been waiting for. No, Queer as Folk isn't halfway through on SBS. It's time for audience participation, where you, the audience, get to be the star as we play Daryl in the Barrel. Over to you, Ernie and Denise.
Thank you very much, Pete. And Francis, who do we have here?
No one, Sean. The Micallef tonight, Cat, is still in the process of catching him or her from the audience.
All right, in the meanwhile, let's find out what the prizes are, Pete.
Sean.
Francis.
Attila.
Pete!
Thanks, Attila. Our lucky contestant tonight could be going home instead of away for a whirlwind holiday for one on Typhoon Island. Sand, surf and sleet all come together through the gaping hole in the roof of your hotel room to make this one holiday you'll never forget. Although post-traumatic stress disorder can suppress the memories for up to 10 years. Typhoon Island helps you be the eye of the storm, although it is spelled with an O. Or how about this beautiful and versatile bar? And when I say versatile, I'm obviously lying. It just sits there. God, it's dull. I don't know why she's so happy. Look at her big, stupid grin on her face. I'd rather look at a miniature stove full of chickens. Heavens to Murgatroyd, what's happening? It's witchcraft, I tells ya. Huzzah, my prayers have been answered, and yours will be too, with this portable oven and dead hens combination, courtesy of Appalling Displays Proprietary Limited. Your kitchen will never be the same again, nor will it be the laundry. And you won't believe the price. My hat, you're incredulous. Back to you, Mick and Tony.
Thank you very much, Pete.
And Sean,
yes?
the Micallef Tonight Cat has brought us our contestant.
Excellent, superb. Thank you very much, Micallef Tonight Cat.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Cat. Are you okay?
All right.
Sean. This is Poppy. Moving right along. Poppy is from Greenacre in New South Wales. She's a media student. She travelled down here with a girlfriend just to see the show tonight.
Oh, dear.
And she's going home at 6 a.m. in the morning.
All right, excellent. All right, well, so you're missing out on this evening. You don't get to see this one at all. Now, Poppy, the object of this game is to pick which barrel contains former Nine personality Daryl Summers, and then answer a simple question. All right, now I'll give you a hint, though. He's in barrel number 2, and the answer is steam engine. All right, you have 3 days starting from now. Anytime you're ready, Poppy.
Okay, I picked 2.
Number 2, all right, let's have a look. Is Daryl in the barrel?
No. He's not.
Daryl's not in the barrel. That's a pity. You trusted me, and that was a mistake. Francis, which barrel was Daryl in?
None of them, Sean. He refused to participate.
Fair enough. Anyway, we'll give you the question anyway, because, you know, you came down all the way to see the show. So the question, if you please, Francis, which Poppy, if you get right, you could be leaving tonight with these. They haven't had a date at ages.
Certainly,
right,
Sean.
Thank you very much.
The original caption to this photograph, Poppy, was A, Madame Tussauds, trumped by reality, B, new Three Stooges film set to disappoint, or C, Michael Jackson, far right, denies further surgery. Some thinking music.
Some thinking music, please.
C.
C is the correct answer. Well done, Pete.
As well as a night on the town with Attila the Hun and the Micallef Tonight Cat, Poppy will also receive 2 tickets to Birtles, Shorrock, Goble in concert at the Forum on July the 18th in Melbourne.
Oh, dear. We have to come back all the way back down from New South Wales to see the show. That's all right. Pete, tell us things, won't you?
I just have.
No, other things.
That's right, Sean. If you'd like to be a part of our home audience, write your name and address on the front of a packing crate, get inside and post yourself to your own house by end of business Friday, and you could be in the running to watch the show from the comfort of your own living room. Don't forget to enclose a crowbar. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Well, that's about it for this week. In fact, that's it now. Before we go, a quick look at what they'll be talking about around the water cooler tomorrow.
This water's nice. Yeah, nice and cool.
And refreshing.
I'm glad they installed this water cooler.
Yes, very much as I expected. Mind you, I had worked on the script, so it stands to reason, as opposed to Stephen Hawking, who just sits there. Thank you very much to our guests, Anthony LaPaglia, Dave Hughes, Birtles, Shorrock, Gobles, and, of course, Lavinia Nixon. And we didn't even play the wheel tonight. To take us out tonight, one of this country's most enduring singing talents, and tonight is no exception. Yes, it's Jackie Love, and I'm sure, as her name suggests, you'll Jackie her this evening as she sings Twisted Sisters' anthem to resisting kleptomania, We're Not Going to Take It. See you in the Monkey House, Australia.
We've got the right to choose it. There ain't no way
This is Pete Smith squeaking.